What up, though? This your boy Cousin P, and you're tuned in to the
Spot.
The spot where the ears meet the street.
Here with the players, the best. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you. Damn, I don't even know. I gotta hit the shit where your ear eat. What is it? Where your ears meet the street. Where your ear meet the street. The spot where your ear meet the streets, man.
What up, though? This your boy Cousin P, and you're tuned in to the spot. I got a special guest with me today. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself.
You already know it's Queen iLLa JAY up in the building. Feel me? Salute to my team, Pay Style. Thank you for having me.
Always speaking on my story, I ain't never read a page. Everybody swear they lay it till they feet in the way. I don't know how I feel, nigga, shit be getting real. I got wounds that don't heal, why you think I don't chill? You see me still hustling hard, never going out, you catch me shining in the dark. I'm that lioness, lurking ready to rip you apart. First they come for your soul, then they reach for your heart. They steady pressing on my patience, out my face with all that fake shit. It could go for any section when I really wanna wrench it. Don't you ever get mistaken, baby, ain't no conversation. Anybody feeling froggy, know I'm always on the pavement.
Dope. So are you working on any new projects or have any new projects coming out?
I'm working on an EP right now that's going to be produced by Mr. G, but I did just release a project last Sunday on the 15th called Throne, which is out now on SoundCloud, and you can download it for free. That's free Bandcamp.
Okay, so how did you come out with the title Throne? What does that mean?
Throne to me is just like really coming into your own, you know, and I want to make it clear, like when I do say things like that, I'm not saying it like I feel like another artist is like less than, but it's just certain words I feel like electrify me, you feel me, that help me, push me to my best potential, and that's what I really wanted to do with this mixtape. I wanted to not sound like a lot of my songs before. I wanted to try things that made me uncomfortable. I wanted to, you know, try topics that made me uncomfortable so I could really say that I'm giving my best. You know?
Dope. And how many tracks are on this?
It's 18 tracks on there. 18 tracks.
Okay. A lot of any features that stand out?
I got Mr. G on there. I got Max 17 kicked off the whole thing, what I feel like is one of the greatest intros I ever heard. I was very humble having my big brother and an artist that I do admire as much as I do him actually do an intro for me. We got a Fon Check on there. I got a Mr. Lewis, who I just ran into. Mr. Lewis is on there. We got a crazy track that is, you know, to bring a lot more unity to Sacramento, so I was really excited about that. He's a person I've been wanting to work with for a while, so those are a couple features that definitely stood out for me. I got a video out right now with V-Bay, who is an R&B singer, my sister in music, called Want, for my song Wants, and she's on another track, Regret Me Not. I got my man's Rose Leo is another R&B superstar, so I got to dibble and dabble with, you know, some people from my home base and some other people that I've been watching for a minute. We got some features.
Okay, dope. How would you describe your sound?
I would say that I'm like a storm to me. I am always trying to come off, no matter what the subject is. I'm trying to be fierce. I'm trying to blow any doubt, any competition, anything that I feel would take away from my music away. I don't really like labeling myself as just a conscious rapper because I feel like I can make different kind of music. I just feel like I am fierce.
Okay.
Anything.
Dope. I can respect that. What are you hoping your fans get from your music?
I hope people get some type of healing. That's what I always say, that I feel like I make music for the trenches, and the trenches need a healing, and that's not just always talking about pain or things that violence or anything like that. Some people need to be uplifted. Some people need to be reminded not being okay is okay. Some women need to know that you don't have to look this way for you to be appealing. You don't have to, especially in rap right now, because I feel like problem is in rap is I feel like you have to be either super violent or you got to be like a super stripper, and I feel like I don't follow either category, and I make sure that when I say that, even if I'm not necessarily getting to a mainstream platform, I want the 16-year-old Lil Illa J or whatever she's calling herself to know that it's okay, that if you don't sound nothing like what you're hearing on the radio, you could be yourself.
That's dope. That's definitely dope. I mean, because especially like what you said about the women artists, like I love Cardi B, don't get me wrong, but I feel like she just gave, like the word I'm looking for, like she just gave life to all the strippers and the hoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, on a whole nother level. Because you know you had Kim and then you Nicki Minaj, don't get me wrong, but it seemed like Cardi like really just kicked the door open and they just came in full fledged like it was a zombie movie.
Yeah, and it's crazy when you get to that level and you do that, because not to say whether I'm not here to say whether it's true or false. I see a lot of rappers like that, not just Cardi, that use that to get to that platform, and then them is the kind of women that they beefing with. So I'd be like low-key confused, because I'm like, I thought you was uniting this group of women, and you was saying it was okay how they was doing that, and you can get money any kind of way, and I got you, sis, and all that. But once we get up here, you let little things like little playboys and stuff come in between that. So I try to steer away from being that. I want to unite everybody. If you're a rapper like that, if you're a rapper like me, if you don't know what kind of rapper you want to be, just whatever, that as long as you a soldier, I can rock with you.
That's real. I can respect that. So how do you see yourself as an artist?
As an artist, I see myself as ever changing. I'll always want to be somebody that keeps myself open to growth. I feel like I am kind of like a blast from the past. I have not even just the way my voice sounds, just like the way I rhyme. I feel like I'm more of I try to stay true to the heart of hip hop and stuff like that. I grew up listening to different artists than it is on the radio now. And I think I take a lot of that and put it into myself. Like just trying to be strong, like the Queen Latifahs, the MC Lights. One of my favorite female artists is Storm, who was somebody that always raps with Tupac. I liked how she, sounded totally different from the boys, and she sounded totally different from the girls, and I've never really heard nothing like that. So I try to make sure that as long as I'm growing and I'm different, that I'm me.
That's dope. I respect that. Okay. How do you want to be seen as an artist from the eyes of others?
One thing I really want to be seen as more of a stronger songwriter.
Okay.
Because that is something that I hold dear to my heart. Writing pretty much any type of creative writing, but I really like writing songs for different genres, and I do understand, especially with this year and the mixtape and all the different things that I was working on and things that I didn't really get a chance to work on, that is something that I gotta put more attention to, is cradling more of my craft, so that I'm not just seen as just a rapper, because I'm so much more than a rapper. I'm a poet. I'm a community activist. I am, I'm a queen, and I want to show that more on and off the mic, not just things I say or catchy phrases or things that people want to hashtag, or when I'm at a cypher trying to rip this or rip that. I really want people, when they think of me, to think of all those things.
That's dope. Okay, what are your influences? What influenced you?
One of my biggest influences would be the passing of my dad, which is something that I talk about a lot in my music. It's it's one of the situations where people say, like, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It's like when you think of that, it's kind of like people kind of think of like to me, in my opinion, like an overnight type of success. It didn't kill you, so then tomorrow, you stronger, and it really doesn't work like that. It's a second to second, day to day, constant choice that you are going to get better. I am going to be better. I am going to be stronger. So that is something that inspires me a lot in music. To always push myself to get better, to take advantage of something that allows me to express myself in a more healthy way. He was a very, very great guitarist for a punk rock band when he was not much younger than me. His name was iLLa. When I first started rapping like 10 years ago, that was my name, iLLa. My fans kind of switched it around to Illa J, but I feel like, I have some type of dynasty from my dad, the Illa dynasty that I have to, put my all into, because I get most of my musical capabilities from my parents. My mom being a phenomenal poet, my dad being, a guitarist, a singer, a songwriter, and all those things. So I would say that was my greatest inspiration.
That's dope. That's definitely dope to have a mom and a father that's both into music. That's dope. That's dope. What do you feel you bring differently to the music scene in Sacramento?
Um,
Especially as being a woman.
I don't want to ruffle no feathers, but I'm not scary. I feel like the problem with Sacramento hip hop a lot is that people think it's like people doing all this fearless stuff, and they're not. Because it takes a lot of strength and dedication to stand up for something that everybody else doesn't believe in. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to, well, not sometimes, all the times, when it comes to a group, you have to change yourself as an individual before the group starts to change. If it's 10 of us still doing the same thing, then we're always going to be those 10 people. If one person changes and that doesn't necessarily work, I feel like at least something happened. It's not 10 people doing something ignorant now it's 9, and we can keep going and going. So I feel like when it comes to Sacramento hip hop, me just standing for myself and my sound, my haircut, just period, just being unapologetically me makes me different, because I feel like that is one of the biggest problems in my city. Is not that we don't have talent or anything like that, is that people are playing this little follow the leader, shoots and ladders little game, you know, over a lot of ignorant stuff that sometimes it ain't really got nothing to do with violence. It's drugs. People talking about doing a bunch of drugs that they don't do, you know, but they say they do it on wax. Like, people do a lot of crazy stuff just to make themselves look like this person, you know, and I feel like they get trapped in that. And I think that is a big difference between me and them, is because people that know me, like personally, people that know me will tell you that I am her, that you see on YouTube, that you see on Instagram. If you see me at a show, I am the same person I am behind the microphone. I am that person, and I feel like if more people in this city would own that, then we would be more of a powerhouse for hip-hop. We would be what we are supposed to be, and it wouldn't just necessarily be Los Angeles and the Bay Area and all that.
Right, that's dope. That's dope. Last question. We all do music as artists. If this music doesn't take off the way you planned it, do you have a plan B? And if you do have a plan B, what is that plan B?
I want to start a community center that nurtures more of our youth. I feel like that is something that, even though I grew up in not some of the best areas with the best stuff going on, that is something that we had. And it really was a safe haven for us, as having a teen club, a youth club, somewhere that we know that we can go. It didn't matter where we was from. We could go there, and there was constructive stuff that we could do there. I would love to bring music into that and a whole lot of other things. But if music doesn't work for me, I still see myself fighting for my city, to make sure that greatness comes from here, because I know that that is what we're destined for.
Dope. Thank you. That concludes all the questions. Thank you for coming out.
It was my pleasure.
Look in the camera and shout out all your social media info, just in case somebody see this video and interested to want to find you.
All right, my name is iLLa J. You can find me on IG at salute.illaj. My name on Facebook is iLLajay. Same on SoundCloud, Twitter, anything of the sort. As always, shout out to my team. Shout out to my loved ones. Sacramento, I love you.
Thank you.